So here we have for the giant Abyssinian red banana, Ensete ventricosum Maurelii. This plant is only a couple of years old. As you can see, it's huge. The leaves are over 2 meters. It's been outside since May. It was planted out as a plant about this big, and in one summer it's gone, well, 2.5–3 meters tall, with this fabulous big fat trunk. Now unfortunately it's not hardy. It's been outside for at least 6 months, but what we have to do in November, before the frosts get to it, I don't mind a light frost, but a heavy frost we really want to think about protecting it, because I'd like this plant to be a feature in our garden next year. So in order to do that, we have to cut off a lot of the leaves. Quite simple when you use a sharp kitchen knife, something like this. You just trim them back like this. Look at that, what a beautiful thing. And ultimately we'll end up with a trunk without any leaves on it, like a giant pineapple. So here we are. I've cut quite a few of the leaves off, the leaf stems. These are called petioles that hold the leaves. You can see here there's a lot of water coming out. It's very heavy and masses of water in it. It's quite amazing. I expect Ray Mears would tell you that you could drink this. I'm quite tempted, but maybe not today. There's several trains of thought when it comes to winterizing Ensetes. Now there was one system which is tried and tested and works very well. You can dig the whole plant up, taking care to wash off quite a lot of the soil from the remaining roots, just leaving a stubby rooty base to it. And then because of all this water, you stand the trunk of the Ensete upside down against the wall, somewhere frost-free, for a week or two until it stops leaking water. And then you can store the caudix, I suppose we could call it, or the trunk itself, somewhere frost-free. So you can do that in a cool garage, or if it's not going to be frosty, or maybe even in your loft upstairs, or underneath the bed in the spare bedroom, has been known. Alternatively, you can do what we do. We're lucky, we've got a nursery. So we will put this into a container of just moist compost, just moist, that's the trick. Mustn't be saturated, it must be just moist. And we'll hold it there with temperatures just above freezing, maybe 4 to 5 degrees during the coolest periods, and it will remain dormant until the temperatures get warm enough for it to start growing. I like to do this technique. I've got the space and got a glass house, because when you do it like this, the banana lets you know when it wants to grow. So as the temperatures start to rise in spring, then you'll see a new leaf appearing from the crown. I just cut a bit more off. Quite satisfying actually cutting them off. Quite fleshy, quite nice. Beautiful things. It seems a shame to do it, but we are into frostland. So, and what I'll always do is when you'll see a spear coming through the front, never cut that one right back. I'll climb up here and I would probably just half cut that out, because that's the bit that's going to start growing in the spring. So just systematically work your way around, tidying it up until you've got a trunk. And the next phase is digging it up. Now I'm going to get a bit of help on this one because it probably weighs a fair bit. So I'll see you in a minute. So here we have the beautiful Ensete cut back in its winter situation. It's now been cut all around the base. You can see we trimmed the roots back and we've made the root ball quite compact. Here's a pot. I put some fresh compost in the bottom of the pot. We're now going to get some help to lower this lovely plant into this pot. Thank you. So here we have it. A bit of an engineering process here and taking a bit of thought because it's a heavy beast. But we're about to roll it and drop it straight into this pot. As we go. So the trick is putting it into a pot that's just big enough. It's quite tight in this pot, and that's how it will sit. Its roots quite well sort of snug inside this container. Only a small amount of compost in the bottom, and it will sit like this. I'm not going to water it, do anything. It's damp enough. There's enough moisture going to run out of this trunk. So that's it now. It'll probably sit like this without being watered for the next 2 or 3 months, and we'll keep it cool but not freezing.